Black Star was used to supplant SAS. One lawyer said that on Newsfile. He said Black Star was used to supplant SAS in the 2021 BMS situation.
Is that the lawyer Peggin?
Yes,
Peggin.
Kpebu,
sorry,
yes. Martin. That's what he said on Newsfile, yeah.
It's fascinating, and the reason I say you shouldn't play with these type of things is when Black Star started in 2007, it was a broker-dealer. But for your trades to be recognized on the exchange, you would go to another dealer. In 2017, all the transactions we did about 40 million in transactions then, bearing in mind that I was part of the trading team at IC, which led the market then, and so moving to Black Star, there was always we were always going to have a brokerage because it made sense as our asset management business grew. We needed to have a brokerage to be able to push out the transactions we were going to do. In 2017, we did most of the transactions. We were relatively small. We were just starting out, waiting for our license to come, or etc. In 2018, which is sort of the missing number, we did about 156 million in transactions in a space of about 5 months. And we did, of that 156, we did 115 million with SAS. As our broker.
So all these 100 and something transactions you did in 2018, we did it with who? Was it because you had an advantage that your shareholder, your founder is sitting at the Ministry of Finance as deputy minister?
No. If I come to you, Paul, and you tell me that you have a property project you want to do, and you have some money and you want to buy a bond, if I buy and sell that bond for you, that volume gets recorded under...
Oh, that's what you're talking about?
Yes.
So talking to individuals?
Yes.
When you go to talk to them, do you say that, by the way, Charles ADU Boahen is our founder?
They don't care. They just need the best price. Nobody cares.
Okay, I get that.
It doesn't make a difference. I mean, it's like if you were selling a house and I came and said, oh, my father is XYZ, you don't care. You just want the best price.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's how it works.
That's exactly
how it works. So this volume you trade is market with normal people and institutions.
Every single transaction we have done is recorded in the CSD, and they can, whoever wants to look at it can go and check that. We have absolutely nothing to hide. The notion that, as a firm, we depend on the Honorable Minister, as great as he is completely wrong. I would love for him to take the credit, but we can't give him the credit because the credit all belongs to us. He has had absolutely nothing to do with the business that we have.
But I want to understand the business in some detail. Okay, so it's like advertisements is coming. I pick it to the media industry, which I'm quite familiar with. So government wants to roll out some advertisement, and then they ask the National Media Commission, give us a criteria of the television program with the highest eyeballs. And if a person is information minister, he cannot do anything about that, because the highest eyeballs for television is digitalized. Social media is going to pull it out. Facebook is going to put it. Going to go on Facebook and see how many, assuming the criteria is that you need a TV program that is recording at least 1,000 eyeballs with 60% of its programming. I can't force that. If I don't have the 1,000 eyeballs, I don't have it. Even if I'm the president, I don't have it. If the TV station is for me, it doesn't matter. Is that the kind of point you're making, that when the criteria is set, it doesn't matter who owns what?
Yeah, look, when the criteria is set, and what is really important in all of this is the ability to execute. If we didn't have the ability to execute, we wouldn't be there. And bearing in mind, in this new BMS framework, it's probably the most meritocratic we've seen. It's very simple. If you can generate the most transactions within the market, you would qualify. And it's very important, because if you can generate the most transactions, it means that you have the most eyeballs in your case, right? Because it means that I'm speaking to people. I tell you no word of a lie. We must have driven more miles in this country than any other broker. Call any savings and loans or rural bank and ask them if we haven't given them a call or been over to the office.
Across the country?
Across the country.
Or even in remote areas? In all regions? Have you been to Bono, Ahafo, Northeast?
Yes, we have. And I have some of my team members who can easily confirm that. Risking life and limb to go and do this. Because for us, what is also important in all of this, and as I said, we don't sell bonds, we try and sell solutions. And if you have ever had an experience with Black Star, and look, Paul, I don't have to tell you this, just speak to anybody who has had any interaction with us. And I'm sure they will be able to tell you, we have a monthly market meeting called Market Color. We tell the market what we expect. Look, if bonds are getting weaker, we tell you. If interest rates are going up, we do all these surveys and we provide all this information. Now, when we finish that call, after we've spoken to you and you've had a chance to sort of digest, usually what happens is somebody picks up the phone and says, you said that and that. What does it mean? What does that mean for us in our portfolio? Okay, we'll be interested in the next bond that comes. That's the work that we do. We've never faced the government as a counterparty. Government has it's never been a client of ours. It's never given us money for anything. everything we generate is market driven.
But if you're in a BMS in 2021, government is your client. Government, what's your client in that transaction?
You have to hear me out. Not a client in the form of like in the current BMS relationship.